cloud. There we go. So today we're going to talk a little bit about budgets, right? And Ben Kinney, the owner of Brivity, he did a wealth series, and I'm a big believer in you take what people have, and if they make it, if they have it and they give you permission to utilize it, I'm going to take it and teach. And so what I love about his class that he did was, here's a personal budget model that we did and a personal expense tracker. And I'm a big believer in taking so many things from so many different people. Like Dave Ramsey has his debt snowball. I like his debt snowball to a certain point because it works. The only challenge I have with it is there's a math component to it that I don't like. He says, just pay your smallest bill first. And part of me, from the math standpoint, says, pay your highest interest rate first, and then start paying all the others down, right? Because, you know, math is important. So one of the things I'm a big believer in is business is math, right? If you don't know the math in your business, you're going to struggle. If you don't know the math in your personal budget, you're going to struggle. The one complaint I have about most realtors is this: they shy away from numbers. They're like, that's the lender's job. And when I hear that, it makes me cringe. And it's for this reason: you're giving your power away. If you guys can own the math, you guys will be so much more powerful, personally and professionally. You'll be able to guide people, but more importantly, you're going to help yourselves. So to me, investing is math. Business is math. All those things are math. And if you could get comfortable with just seeing the math, you will get comfortable with it. So own the math. It'll make your life a lot easier, because once you can get that down, it'll make life easy. So I put this in our group chat or our Facebook group, but I want you to do this. And if you can do this on a monthly basis, you're going to start realizing there's some power in what you can or can't do in your life. And you're going to start realizing, you know, what do I need to bring in every month so I can live? So what Ben Kinney recommends is this recommended budget. 50% of your monthly income should go towards your paying your required expenses. What are your required monthly expenses? All of these right here. You know what your rent is. You know what your water, cable, cell phone bill, all those things. You have an idea of what that is. So if you can do this, figure out what this is, it will help you in terms of figuring out what needs to be done. How much money do you need to bring in just to live? That's the biggest thing. And then 25% of your income goes into this optional monthly expenses. This is where you live, right? Entertainment, going to the movies, dinners, lunches. If you have children in sports, you know, tithing, that goes all in this area. And then 25% of your income goes to your savings. And if you can get to 25% of your income to savings, that will really help you, because now you have money to do things with, and you can create a future for yourself. Now, let's say you do all of this and you go, I'm just not making enough money to come in. There is an alternative plan to that. That's going to take you a little bit longer, but you can change this budget from 50, 25, 25 to 80, 10, 10. So if you're behind, you don't have it, go to the 80, 10, 10 model. But if you can do the 50, 25, 25, then that will help you propel into that next level faster. So our goal is, you know, most people don't have a budget to begin with. So you got to start figuring, okay, let's figure this out and start tracking this over time. Over time. Most people are thinking this is aggressive, and I'm going to tell you it's not. It really isn't that aggressive. It's doable. And I'll tell you from Eva and I standpoint, the way we live our life, and we've lived this way for many years, is we live off Eva's income only. She makes all today's money. Whatever she makes is what we live on. My job is to create all my income goes towards our future wealth. So we're a one income family for the most part. So we know it's doable. And then we take the other income and we just focus on investing with that. So that's all play money for income, for investing, for future. And then we live off one income. So I know it's possible. And I know friends that have used these systems that have made their life a whole lot better. So what questions do you guys have on this, or what experience have you guys had regarding this system?
So I'll add to that a little bit. I actually have very similar to that. My husband he's always been kind of more of like the breadwinner. However, since I got back into real estate, I really have never counted on my income as part of, we never changed anything basically. When I first started, that's when my older daughter started school. And so my first goal was like, that is going towards her school because I don't want her to graduate with debt. So that was like my first goal. And then after she graduated, I just kind of continued that. And I've kind of started adding to it. And my husband has IRAs, he has like that 401k, all that stuff. I've never had anything because I don't think I've really ever worked in an industry that did that. I didn't really know about that stuff. So I'm just learning. I actually just opened up my IRA. And one of the things that I learned, and I told you, Ron, that I was reading the book from David Bach. His main thing is very similar to this, but his kind of the thing he focuses on is pay yourself first. You know, because that's usually we're like, oh yeah, we got to pay off this, we got to pay off that. Pay yourself first, and then do all that other stuff.
Absolutely true. That I like the pay yourself first. There's a thing called profit first. There's a lot of different systems about pay yourself first. Everyone pays everybody else, and then they pay themselves last. And that's why they don't have savings. So if you set this up early, you can do the math early. Like, I'm going to pay 10, 15%, 25% of myself first, and then I'll do everything else afterwards. Good job, Yolanda. All right, who else? Who doesn't have a budget?
Me, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
I know the numbers because I pay the bills and stuff, but I don't have things delegated like this goes here, that goes there, that kind of thing. So since you've brought it up, I actually tried to download that app. I think that you gave us, or you gave us something. I think it was emailed or something, and it didn't work out. I couldn't type in it. So I just hadn't started it.
Send me what I sent you, and I'll get you the link for it.
Okay.
But this is going to be in our Facebook group page. I just made an Excel spreadsheet. Just download it, and then here's what I always say: make a copy of it, and then month to month do this. And so what we used to do early in our life, when we didn't have money, this was date night. Open up a glass of wine and kind of talk about this stuff and just do this. It'll make your life a lot easier, because if you can both be on the same page with your spouses, right, it will make life a lot easier. You know, the hardest part is one's cutting and one's spending, you know, and just the way the world works, right? Opposites attract. Spenders attract savers. Savers are attracted to spenders. You know, if you know Eva and I, you can tell who's who, right? Eva's a spender, I'm a saver. And it's not one's right or wrong. It's just the way we're built. And there are some great habits Eva has about being a spender. I probably wouldn't do half the fun stuff that I do in life if it wasn't for her setting it up, right? But then Eva would probably outspend herself if I didn't save money. So we would have to work hand in hand and give ourselves permission to actually enjoy life. You know, one of the saddest things that I see, just because I talk about money a lot, is people that have a lot of money in the bank, but they never had a life. They never enjoyed it. And now they're too old to enjoy traveling, or they're going through dementia and they never just lived through life. So they can't do certain things. That's sad to me. That's not the purpose of money. Money is just a tool, good or bad. It's just a tool. It's how you utilize it. I think the biggest challenge that we have is no one really talks about it and no one is really educated about it. So it's always been my purpose to think about and talk about this stuff, because I think it should impact your life in a positive way, not a negative way. Cassandra, you get a challenge. You're a math person for the most part, right?
Yes, and I wanted to share some information. I was waiting for you to to finish your talk, but for those who've never done a budget or they just kind of don't know where to start, and I know this for a fact, a lot of people never look at their bank statements. And your bank account, actually, most banks, I say 90% of the banks now have what you're spending your money on. There's the percentages of where your deposits are going on a monthly basis. So that may be a good starting point for some people. Take a look at your actual checking account and see where the percentages are going, because any food, any grocery store, they're going to lump it together. Any gas, they're going to lump it together. Any entertainment, they're going to lump it together. So for those who, really don't pay attention and you want to start a budget, look there first, because it'll give you some insight on where your money is going.
Absolutely great. And Mint does it also. Mint's a free app. I know a lot of people that use Mint. That helps. As we're going through a recession, right? As we're going through a recession, those that have money or become disciplined, they're going to capitalize on a lot of things. Those that aren't paying attention, they're going to lose in that new economy. The question is, what do you want to do? And it's the discipline of doing it right now. So if you could get disciplined on this, you're going to be able to capitalize on opportunities that are out there. I mean, you're going to, capitalize on things like that. So one of the things that's been on my mind the last week or so is Florida, right? They just went through a huge hurricane. And one of the things that I keep seeing, and I know the media does this on purpose, is they're looking at people and go, we were wiped out of everything. We have nothing. We have nothing in the bank. We have nothing going on. Our house is gone. And I think, wow, what a shame. I mean, truly, what a shame. Someone didn't prepare. Someone didn't prepare their family for this. I get natural disasters are going to happen, but to not be able to have the money to go somewhere else and do stuff, that's scary to me. I think most of you guys know I run a second business, and we do a lot of work with FEMA. So people that have natural disasters, when FEMA comes in, they house them. Well, we help FEMA house those people. And the stories that we hear from that side scares the hell out of me. Like, I'm going to be homeless if FEMA didn't come in the next couple of days because I had nowhere else to go. That means they had no savings. They had no whatever, right? That's scary for me. And if you're reading the stories in Florida, one of the things that we're talking about right now is, gas is gone, water is gone, food is gone. They're describing it like a war zone where, those that have the money can actually take care of their families, but those that don't, they're really left out in the cold until FEMA gets there, but FEMA can't get there fast enough. That's scary for me. But I also look at money as a tool, because I have some friends in Florida right now. They're out and they're doing great donation work right now. They're putting together food drives. They're hiring trucks. They're buying generators and they're giving it away. And I think, man, that is so cool to be able to do that when the rest of their state is going through horrible times. They're blessed enough to go help others. And I think, man, that's amazing. That's amazing to watch that. And we've donated to a couple of our friends that are doing these things. And I think that is awesome, because here's what I know. When I read the Red Cross numbers, not enough money goes to the people. And that, I don't like that. I want my money to go where it's designated to go. So when my friends are stepping up and doing this, and I know they're not taking any profit, they're just taking the money and they're going directly to the people that are most impacted. I think, wow, that's amazing. And that's the ability of taking money and using it for a good tool, as opposed to it's not a good tool. I'm just using it and hoarding it for myself. It's not the design of money. It's really to enrich your life, but others' lives also. So this is one of the things we're going to talk about a little bit more. I want you guys to really break this down. And then the following week, we're going to talk about your net worth tracker. Because one of the things that I find is the more you can track your net worth, the better off you're going to be. So this is one of those things, like you guys just start putting, nights aside and go, okay, one night I'm going to work on this. One night I'm going to work on my budget. And one night I'm going to work on my net worth tracker. And over a period of time, you're going to go from where I was to where I am. And you're going to go, wow. And you're going to realize there was a system that you followed that got you there. So you start thinking, okay, where do I want to go? Right now, we're starting to get the calls of people that are getting desperate. I need to sell now. Ilana and I was on a call yesterday about this. I need to sell now. There is some desperation that's coming out in the market today. There are some opportunities coming. And I want to make sure that you guys are prepared for those opportunities that are coming, because if you can take advantage of those, you're going to change not only your life, but your family's legacy, for the next couple of generations. There's a great transfer of wealth that's going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years. I want you guys to be prepared for that as we're going forward. Okay.